less people died with Trump. Negotiating with Kim Jong-un or Russia or whatever, we had less death. There was a buildup and a fear of war with Russia and Ukraine under Obama. Trump gets in and everything starts settling down. Trump crushes ISIS. Trump loses to Biden. And we instantly get war, escalation, confidence crisis.
Yep.
And foreign policy is like one of my principal issues. And that's why certainly I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Trump or the people around him are perfect in any way, but certainly better than what we're going to get from Kamala Harris, Joe Biden.
Well, I think it's not really controversial to say that a large reason or a large portion of the reason why countries were so aggressive during the Biden administration is because of incompetence.
Yeah.
Like nobody felt like Biden was capable of actually following through on any threats. I mean, how many times did he say to Iran, don't, and that, as if that's some kind of deterrent? Well, clearly it wasn't. Whereas with Donald Trump, people are like, well, maybe he's crazy enough to do something.
Yeah, I think the perception of strength is often, even just as important as actual strength, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you said, Trump says there'll be, the world's never seen before. He uses a lot of hyperbole. He says a lot of things. We're going to invade. We're going to take Greenland. We're going to take he says all these things. And to some degree, I think when you're dealing with these other dictators or world leaders, he seems to have he's like the dictator whisperer, if you will. He speaks the language. They get him, right? You have to be a little bit crazy to understand some of these people. And it appears as though through his tenure, he kept the bad actors at bay. And then when he was out of office, it appeared as though they saw that as an opportunity. So had Kamala won, my concern from those leaders would be well, why would they stop now?
Yeah. People in the West, in the U.S., Canada, and a lot of parts of Western Europe, they really do believe that the rest of the world is like the West. And I strongly disagree. The rest of the world doesn't respond to niceties and politeness and things like that. They think that it's a sign of weakness. And I think that's undeniable. And there's a lot more of the rest of the world than there is of the United States, Canada, and Western Europe.
Strength is one word for how they perceived Trump, but maybe mad, crazy might be another word.
More
Fine
accurate.
with me,
right? Because Trump, and I'm not saying this to disparage Trump. These are Trump's words that Putin and Xi feared he might actually nuke their capitals. Maybe only 5%, Trump said, but it was enough, so they back off. Hopefully we get this kind of Trump is a madman deterrence and war abates. I'm hearing that there's a ceasefire agreement looming with Israel and Hamas. That would be very good. We'll see. I'm largely interested in the next few days of how we're going to see him deal with immigration and the economy.
The deal on hand right now, though, is one they've had for a while now. It's the exact same deal that they had at the beginning when the Biden administration and everyone said, don't do it. I'm at least on the show I was watching Breaking Points. What's going to happen, the new deal, it was exactly what it was a couple months ago, a year ago, when Biden did not want to do anything. So it takes Trump to come in the office for him to say, Netanyahu. Yeah.
Well,
the deal.
That was a really great press conference where Trump said all the gates of hell will be unleashed unless the hostages are released. And I hope that they look at the TV and they say, oh, crap.
Yeah, well, I think, I would look at it sort of a different way. I don't think that Trump was specifically playing hardball with Netanyahu. It was more a case of he's saying, we're going to support you fully to end this war now.
Yeah.
He's
right.
'Cause I think there was a little bit of trepidation, with under the Biden administration, there were several, measures that they were trying to put on Netanyahu saying, don't go to Rafah, don't do this, don't do this. And, Trump, clearly of the two sides was far more, pro-Israel side in this war. So he's going to, make sure that whatever they need, they're going to get.
But we don't know if they're giving him the West Bank, if they're going to let the settlers move in. We don't know the details of what Trump is going to give them. We don't know yet.
We'll see. I'm curious, though. You mentioned in 2016 you wanted to vote for Hillary.
Yes.
What was the moment for you where you were like, I can't vote for these people?
Okay, so the thing with Hillary was, and like her or not, I think she was the most knowledgeable person ever, the most quote unquote prepared for understanding what goes on there, right? She's lived her whole life in that, in that avenue. For me, I think there was just in the last year or two, if you will, my values haven't changed really at the core, like a classic liberal. But I feel like both sides went sort of farther away from the middle. So the question in this election is like, who's closer to the middle? And I think generally who's closer to the middle, wins. And Trump's coalition that he put together with Elon Musk and RFK and Tulsi Gabbard, and Trump himself, they're all Democrats. They're all traditional. Like RFK said, I would have run as a Democrat. Tulsi ran as a Democrat. They kicked them out. They threw them to the, there was sort of this elitist attitude. And there is, I find because, I'm in touch with both sides, obviously, in the world that I live in. And I find there's a much more elitist attitude with those in the extreme progressive left, that if you don't agree with them 100%, you are the enemy, And I don't find that, or I haven't found that with those I disagree with on the other side as much.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.